Good morning, I'm Sapsanamma. Let's begin with the headlines of the hour. At least 5 killed as a taxi headed for Gorkha plunges into the Trishuli River. Search for one missing person underway. More than 300,000 children between the age of 5 to 9 still out of schools despite campaigns. Government claims admission rates have reached 97.1%. Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant says the Israeli military will expand its campaign against Hezbollah. At least 71 Palestinians killed in past 24 hours in Israeli attacks in Gaza. And Nepal A to play its second T20 match against Ireland Wolves today. Match to kick off at 1 p.m. Nepal time at TU Cricket Ground. At least 5 people have been killed as a taxi headed for Gorkha from Kathmandu plunged into the Trishuli River. 3 of the deceased are female and 2 males, according to District Police Office, Chitwan. The deceased have been identified as 35-year-old Arjun Shirmal, who was the taxi driver, and passengers 41-year-old Harimaya Rokaya, 70-year-old Junkiri Rokaya, 28-year-old Anjana Rokaya, and 9-year-old Agaman Nagarkoti. All of them were from Gorkha. The accident occurred at around 7:15 a.m. this morning near Shimaldhara of Ichakamana Rural Municipality in Chitwan. Search is on for one missing person in the incident. More than 500,000 children of the age of 5 and above are eligible to enroll in Grade 1 this year. However, 320,000 children between 5 to 9 years of age are still out of school. Based on the population census of 2021, there are 531,000 children reaching 5 years of age this year. 194,000 of them are from rural areas and 336,000 urban. Based on provincial distribution, the highest number of children are in Madhya province at 149,000. The government estimates 75% of all the children eligible to enroll in Grade 1 will likely go to community schools and 25% in private schools. The government itself claims the enrollment rate for children of 1 to 5 grades stands at 97.1%. However, data shows 320,000 children between 5 to 9 years of age are still out of school. The highest of the children are in Madhya province due to poor financial situation and lack of awareness. Speaker Devraj Ghimire returned home yesterday after 10 days of trip to Geneva, Switzerland to take part in the Inter-Parliamentary Union's assembly. Prior to his trip, the main opposition Nepali Congress had demanded for the resignation of Home Minister Ravi Lamichhane, who is alleged of involvement in cooperatives' irregularity. Although the next parliament session has been called for tomorrow, it is likely that the opposition's obstruction at the parliament will continue. While the speaker was abroad, no efforts were made to lift the obstructions at the parliament, neither on the part of the speaker nor by the parties. As a result, 10 days of the time of the parliament went wasted. The Parliament Secretariat is unclear regarding the agendas for the next session. The Speaker has called for a meeting with parliamentary parties this morning, which analysts say will still not produce a way out of the current stalemate. They say the Speaker must hold consultations with top leaders to conclude the issue and pave way for important matters to move ahead at the Parliament. Activities of foreign diplomats in Nepal have increased following the change in the ruling equation. Heads of foreign missions in Nepal, along with diplomats visiting Nepal, have held meetings with government officials, leaders of political parties, heads of local levels, among others. However, the diplomatic code of conduct has been breached during such meetings. It is a regular process for foreign diplomats to hold meetings on issues of bilateral concerns. Government officials have informed that countries that are providing financial assistance to Nepal have been showing interest in meetings concerning issues on ongoing projects, future programs, among others. However, the diplomatic code of conduct has not been fully abided by during such meetings. The code of conduct has been formed for the courtesy calls, official talks and meetings, according to which representatives from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and other concerned ministries should be invited. Records of the talks should be registered, among others. Experts on the issue say that these issues should be implemented strictly. According to the Code of Conduct, ministers or officials of the constitutional bodies have to pre-inform the Ministry of Foreign Affairs regarding the meetings with foreign diplomats. Summaries of the dialogues carried out during such meetings have to be sent to the Office of the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers, as well as the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. It is time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion. The question is, why have activities of foreign diplomats in Nepal increased right after the change in political equation? Your options are A, to express goodwill, B, to step up influence, and C, regular process. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Now, in our Public Voice segment, we've asked people in several provinces what type of film they prefer watching. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
नयाँ सन्देश दिने टाइपको समाजलाई चाहिँ सुधार उन्मुख दिशातिर लैजाने टाइपको फिल्म चाहिँ मन पर्छ।
कमेडी वाला हेर्छु।
बाबुआमाको छोराछोरीप्रति अथवा छोराछोरीको बाबुआमाप्रति त्यस्ता भएका विभिन्न चाहिँ सामाजिक परिवेशका चाहिँ घटनाहरू घटेका फिल्महरू मैले असाध्यै मन परेर त्यो हेर्ने गर्छु।
लभ स्टोरी खाली हुन्छ नि हल्का त्यो मध्ये फिल्महरू बढी हेर्छु।
सेन्टिमेन्टल फिल्महरू हेर्छु।
नेपाली सिनेमा मैले खास चाहिँ हेर्ने गरेको छैन। म बढी चाहिँ बलिउड मुभी हिन्दी सिनेमा बढी हेर्ने गर्छु।
आफ्नो प्राकृतिक सम्पदाको कुराहरू देखायो, आफ्नो संस्कृति रीतिरिवाजहरू देखायो भने झन् राम्रो हुन्छ।
नेपाली अलिकति हास्य व्यङ्ग्यात्मक फिल्महरू चाहिँ हेर्ने गर्छु।
मोबाइलमा चाहिँ हेर्छौँ, लभ स्टोरीहरू यस्तो सिरियलहरू हेर्छौँ।
नेपाली फिल्म चाहिँ एकदम मन पर्छ। हामी फिल्म हलमा गएर पनि हेर्छौँ, मोबाइलमा पनि हेर्छौँ।
धेरै हलहरू चाहिँ बजारमा बन्द भइसकेका छन्। प्रायः जसो नेपाली फिल्महरू युट्युबमै आएपछि हेर्ने गरिन्छ।
नेपाली फिल्म चाहिँ पहिला चाहिँ एकदम हेरिन्थ्यो, हलमा गएर पनि एउटा फिल्म 2-3 चोटि हेरिन्थ्यो। आजकल चाहिँ त्यस्तो खासै त्यो पारिवारिक फिल्म चाहिँ परिवारसँग बसेर हेर्ने खाली लागेको फिल्म पनि त्यो हुँदैन, त्यो अनुसार चाहिँ फिल्म हेरिँदैन।
Welcome back. It's time now for international update. The Israeli military has said it has killed Ali Abed Aksan Naim, the deputy commander of Hezbollah's rocket and missiles unit, in an airstrike in the area of Bazourieh in Lebanon. It said he was one of the Iranian-backed militia's leaders in heavy warhead rocket fire and claimed he was responsible for conducting and planning attacks against Israeli civilians. Defense Minister of Israel, Yoav Gallant, said the Israeli military will expand its campaign against Hezbollah hours after it was accused of killing dozens in Syria and Lebanon. In Gaza, dozens of Palestinians have been killed in incessant Israeli attacks, including 15 people at a sports center where hundreds of war-displaced are sheltering. The Hamas-run health ministry has said at least 71 Palestinians have been killed in the past 24 hours. The Palestinian death toll from Israeli attacks in Gaza has climbed to at least 32,623. 75,092 have been wounded. News reports say the United States government will send billions of dollars worth of bombs and warplanes to Israel despite growing criticism of its conduct in Gaza. Thousands of Yemenis and Houthi supporters protested on Friday against the ongoing war in Gaza. Carrying banners, weapons and Palestinian flags, protesters chanted against Israel and the United States. Protesters said they came out for those who were displaced and for children without homes, those who were unjustly killed in cold blood. The Houthis have been attacking ships in the Red Sea region since November in what they say is a campaign of solidarity with Palestinians during Israel's war with Hamas in Gaza. The attacks have disrupted global shipping, forcing firms to take longer and more expensive journeys around southern Africa. Thousands of Jordanians rallied near the Israeli embassy in a 6th day of large protests against Israel, calling for an end to Jordan's unpopular peace treaty with its neighbor to the west. The protesters in an affluent neighborhood of Amman carried Palestinian flags and chanted for Palestinians in Gaza. The Israeli embassy, where protesters have gathered for 6 straight days, has long been a flashpoint when violence has escalated between Palestinians and Israel. Heavy security was aimed at curbing the number of protesters, and the rally went peacefully, unlike earlier this week when riot police fired tear gas and struck protesters with batons to prevent them from storming the embassy. Authorities in Jordan have stepped up arrests and harassment of demonstrators in a months-long campaign that has been slammed by international rights groups, Amnesty International and the Human Rights Watch, for restricting freedom of expression. The Wall Street Journal, one of America's largest newspapers, published a blank front page on Friday as a homage to their reporter Ivan Gershkovich, who has spent a year behind bars in Russia after his arrest on suspicion of espionage. The 32-year-old became the first U.S. journalist arrested on spying charges in Russia since the Cold War, when he was detained by the Federal Security Service on March 29 last year. Russian President Vladimir Putin has said Gershkovich could be released at some point in exchange for a Russian prisoner held abroad, but no such deal has so far materialized. A tropical cyclone that swept across the island of Madagascar this week killed at least 18 people and displaced thousands more. Tropical cyclone Gamin, which crossed the northeast of Madagascar on Wednesday and Thursday, displaced more than 20,000 people, the National Bureau of Risk and Disaster Management said in a report. 3 others were injured and 4 were still missing, it added. Gamin made landfall north of Vohemar in northeast Madagascar on Wednesday morning, with average winds of 150 kilometers per hour and gusts of 210 kilometers per hour. The cyclone, which brought heavy rain and flooding, caused roads and bridges to collapse in the north of Madagascar. Gamin is the first this year in Madagascar's cyclone and storm season. Now, Haitians have made kites on Good Friday as part of Easter traditions in the country, beleaguered by rampant crime and political instability. Children and adults crafted colorful paper kites, an Easter tradition in the Caribbean nation akin to painting eggs. This Easter in Haiti comes as the country awaits a presidential council to be appointed after Prime Minister Ariel Henry announced his resignation on 11th of March. Gang violence in Haiti has killed over 1,500 people so far this year, including children, while dozens have been lynched, stoned or burned alive by so-called self-defense brigades, the Human Rights Office has said. Haiti's shattering gang wars have intensified in recent weeks, with heavily armed rivals unleashing fresh waves of attacks, including raids on police stations and the international airport. The country's political blockage has also affected the provision of basic products. On Friday, Haitians flocked to a gas station to fill up tanks, fearing a fuel shortage. Canada on Monday began evacuating their citizens and residents who want to leave as gang violence spreads. That is all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.